Aerolineas Argentinas flight AR1732. From Buenos Aires, Jorge Newbery to Puerto Iguazú on Thursday the 17th of April 2016 on a Boeing 737-800. We left at 1:55 in the afternoon and it was a 1 hour and 40-minute flight. Buenos Aires has 5 airports. It appears that only 3 run commercial flights. We flew out of Aeroparque Jorge Newbery, AEP, which has the most flights per day. Although I'm not entirely sure these numbers are accurate. 3 airports within Cui of 14 million people. I'd have expected all of these numbers to be quite a bit higher. AEP has 1 runway, which is just over 2 kilometres long, and runs northwest to southeast. We took off to the southeast on runway 13 and I had a great view of the city. For some reason, I don't have a lot of footage of the taxi or the takeoff. I actually don't have a massive amount of footage from AEP at all. I'm not entirely sure why. I was travelling with my family, but that doesn't usually stop me, which is not great for the vacation, but I mean, I've got to do it for the fans. Sorry about that. We caught a bus out to our plane, which means we drove past heaps and heaps of planes, which for me is just so exciting. Look at them all. So many of them are blue. That's a cool colour for planes. Once we got to our plane, we boarded via the stairs, which means we got a little bit damp, but it wasn't too bad. This plane is configured to seat 170 people, and I was in seat 7F. And we're up. Okay, into the snack. Each person got a glass of water and a little wee snack box. And when we opened up the snack box, inside was a little collection of biscuits and some crackers. There was a red fruit biscuit, a lemon biscuit, and some chive crackers, and a serviette. The red fruit biscuit was actually quite yummy. I really liked it. The lemon biscuit, it was divine. Lemony and light and really lovely. Nice one. And the snack crackers were snack crackers. They were pretty standard, but if you're into savoury, nice. And the water was water. So let's get scoring. The snack box was actually a bit of a delight. 3 options of snack, and they were all quite good. Pleasantly surprised and delighted. That's a 9. And the water was water. That's a 5. So that makes the average 7 out of 10. Good snack, Aerolineas Argentinas. Okay, onto the plane. Aerolineas Argentinas has a smallish fleet of 56 aircraft, 44 of which are Boeing 737s and 31 of those are 737-800s like this plane, which had its first flight in September 2011, meaning it was only 4.5 years old when we took this flight. But surprisingly, it had already had 2 owners. The first owner, Air Berlin, only owned the plane for 2 years before it was sold and then leased to Aerolineas Argentinas. That seems a little bit crazy, but a quick look at Air Berlin shows that they ceased operations in October 2017, so they were probably already in a bit of financial strife. I wonder if planes are like cars and they lose 25% of their value the moment you fly them out of the showroom. This plane has 170 seats, 8 business class sold as club economy, and 162 economy seats. I found this photo on the internet which does show the cabin, although the seats looked slightly different. The overhead bits and bobs were pretty standard. There's no seatback entertainment system, which is fine for a 2-hour sector, but for something longer you definitely want to have a book or have some videos on a tablet. So a reasonably new aircraft with a nice tidy fit out. All around pretty happy with that. That's a 7 out of 10. Solid effort, Aerolineas Argentinas. This map isn't from our flight, but it is from the same aircraft on the same route 2 years later. I imagine we tracked in a similar way. Interesting how we just hugged the border with Uruguay. I wonder if that's related to their football rivalry or if they just like to stay over Argentina if they can help it. So we flew almost due north and landed in Iguazú. Landing in Iguazú can be a bit confusing given that there are 3 airports in the vicinity that have commercial flights. This seems like too many given that only about 400,000 people live in the area. However, one of them, Cataratas del Iguazú, IGR, is in Argentina. Another, Foz do Iguazú, is in Brazil. And the third, Ciudad del Este, is in Paraguay. So it seems all three countries are fighting for the tourists. Clearly, Foz do Iguazu is the busiest of the three. Cataratas del Iguazu is the second busiest, and this is where we were landing. Mostly because it's still inside Argentina, which meant we weren't crossing an international border, which means no passport control. We landed to the northwest on runway 31. Okay, let's land.
Los respaldos de sus asientos, graben sus mesas rebatibles, mantengan el al aterrizaje. Muchas gracias. Your attention please, in a few more minutes we'll be landing at Iguazú Airport.
Like in Eastern Europe, everyone applauded when we landed. I've never quite understood why you would congratulate the pilot for doing their job properly. So there's 2 gates with air bridges at Iguazu, that's pretty cool, but for some reason we didn't get to use them and had to walk across the apron. But it did mean I got to take this awesome footage of the plane. Isn't that cool? Iguazu Airport is quite little, and 170 people collecting their bags at the same time seemed almost more than it could handle. But it was totally worth it because we got to see the waterfalls and the marapasas. That means butterfly. So how'd we go? The snack had 3 selections. That's pretty outstanding for a short sector like this. It was just water, but the snack, 3 selections. Good work, 7 out of 10. And the plane, it's reasonably new with comfortable enough seats for a 2-hour sector. That's a solid 7. That's an average of 7. That's outstanding. Solid effort, Aerolineas Argentinas. Well above average. Please subscribe and watch every single video we ever make.